morning, wherever you are in your life's journey. I want you to stop for a moment and take a deep breath, because today I want to speak straight to your heart. Not the version of you that the world sees, not the version that smiles when you're breaking inside, but the real you. The one that lies awake at night thinking, there's got to be more to life than this. Today I want to challenge you to make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. And that decision is to live your life without regrets. Let me tell you something. Regret is a silent killer. It won't scream at you. It won't knock on your door. It sneaks in quietly, sits in your soul, and eats away at your spirit. Years from now, it will whisper, what if? What if you had started that business? What if you had said, I love you before it was too late? What if you had dared to believe in yourself just once? See, we all get the same 24 hours every single day. And every moment you spend doubting yourself, worrying about what people think, or playing small, it's time you'll never get back. You don't get to rewind life. There is no pause button. You are not promised tomorrow. And you know what? Most people die at 80, but they stop living at 30. They bury their dreams, their passions, their purpose under bills, fear, responsibilities, and the opinions of people who don't even matter. Let me ask you something. Are you living or are you just existing? I want you to think about the dream that you've been sitting on, that vision that won't leave you alone, the one you push aside because it doesn't seem practical. Listen, if it's in you, it's for you. Your dream wasn't assigned to your neighbor. It wasn't given to your cousin. It was planted in you. And it's your job to water it. We say, I'm too old, or it's too late, or what if I fail? Let me flip that for you. What if you succeed? What if the world is waiting for your voice, your gift, your light? You were not created to blend in. You were born to stand out. You were born to impact. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Growth always is. But nothing great ever came from staying comfortable. You've got to be willing to be stretched, to fall, to rise, and to grow. I'm telling you right now, you have everything you need inside of you. But you've got to stop living like you've got forever, because one day you'll take your last breath. And you won't be thinking about the money, the clothes, or the followers. You'll be thinking about the moments, the chances you didn't take, the words you didn't say, the love you didn't give. I met a man once who told me, I've lived a long life, but I didn't live my life. I lived everyone else's version of who they thought I should be. And his eyes filled with tears, regret, not because of what he did, but because of what he never did. That hit me like a brick, because I don't want to get to the end of my life and realize I played it safe. I want to go out knowing I gave it everything I had. And that's what I want for you. Don't wait until the funeral to tell people how much they meant to you. Don't wait for permission to chase your dream. Don't wait for the fear to disappear. Move anyway. Fear will always be there. But let me tell you something. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's deciding that something else matters more. Your dream matters more. You were not born to just pay bills and die. You were born to leave a mark, to touch lives, to create, to build, to inspire. But it starts with a decision, a bold, defiant, powerful decision. I will not live with regret. I will not die full of potential. You know what the wealthiest place in the world is? It's not the banks. It's not Silicon Valley. It's the graveyard. Because in there are businesses never started, songs never sung, books never written, lives never lived. Don't let that be your story. If you want to travel, pack your bags. If you want to say, I'm sorry, say it today. If you want to chase your dream, start running. Not tomorrow, now. Time is the one thing you can never get back, so stop wasting it on things that don't fill you. Stop trying to please people who won't even be at your funeral. Stop waiting for a sign. This is your sign. Live so fully, so loudly, so passionately that when you die, you do it empty. Empty of regret, empty of what ifs, empty of fear, but full of memories, full of love, full of purpose. Because at the end of the day, life is not measured by the breath we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. So get up, stand tall, dream big, love deeply, speak boldly, act fearlessly, and whatever you do, live your life without regrets. Too often in life, people wait. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect amount of money, the perfect version of themselves before they start chasing their dreams. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting becomes a habit. The truth is, you will never feel completely ready. There will always be doubts, unknowns, and fears whispering that you're not enough, not yet, not now. But if you keep waiting until you're ready, you'll be waiting forever. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world didn't start because they had it all figured out. They started because they refused to let fear decide their future. They knew something that too many people forget. Action breeds confidence. You don't become ready and then begin. You begin, and that journey makes you ready. Fear will tell you stories. It will dress up as logic, disguise itself as caution, and convince you that you're being wise by holding back. But what fear really wants is control. It wants to keep you safe, small, and stuck. Fear has a voice, and it's persuasive. It says, what if you fail? What will they think? What if you're not good enough? And too many people let that voice become their guide. But fear is not a fact. Fear is a feeling. It's a signal, not a stop sign. Just because you're afraid doesn't mean you shouldn't move. It often means you're heading in the right direction. The path of growth is rarely smooth, and fear is a natural companion on the road to anything meaningful. Every great idea, every major leap, every transformation in life comes with resistance. Resistance in your mind, in your heart, in your environment. But here's the secret. You don't have to eliminate fear to take action. You simply have to decide that what you want is more important than what you're afraid of. Think about the people you admire, the inventors, the creators. None of them started because everything was perfectly aligned. They started with shaky hands, limited resources, and doubts. But they started. They pushed past the fear and acted anyway. And because they acted, they created momentum. And with momentum came clarity, growth, and strength. You will never build courage by staying in the comfort zone. You won't become who you're meant to be by only doing what feels safe. Growth requires risk. Progress requires pressure. You have to be willing to take the first step, even when the rest of the path is invisible. Fear tells you that failure is the worst thing that can happen. But it's wrong. The worst thing isn't failing. The worst thing is not trying. The worst thing is letting your potential rot inside of you because you are too afraid to see what was possible. When you act in spite of fear, you take away its power. You teach your mind that you are in charge, that your purpose is bigger than that your dream is more valuable than your doubt. You build resilience. You build courage. And you start to trust yourself on a deeper level. Courage doesn't come from a lack of fear. It comes from a refusal to let fear lead. So start now. Start messy. Start without the answers. Start with trembling knees and a pounding heart. But start, because readiness is not a condition, it's a result. And you only become it by doing the thing you're afraid to do. Life constantly presents us with choices. Some are easy, familiar, and safe. Others are uncomfortable, uncertain, and risky. The easy choices keep us where we are. The uncomfortable ones, they push us forward. Every time you reach a turning point, you are given a quiet invitation. Will you choose comfort or will you choose courage? Most people choose comfort, not because they lack ability, but because courage demands something that comfort doesn't. It demands growth, risk, and action in the face of fear. Comfort feels good in the moment. It's warm, predictable, and safe. It's the job you've outgrown but won't leave. It's the silence you keep instead of speaking your truth. It's the dream you keep buried so you won't have to face rejection. But comfort, when chosen again and again, becomes a cage, a quiet prison. It dulls your ambition, silences your voice, and convinces you that playing small is noble. Courage, on the other hand, doesn't always feel good right away. In fact, it often feels terrifying. It's uncomfortable, raw, and risky, but it is also transformative. Every time you choose courage, you stretch, you grow, you find out what you're truly capable of. You don't just learn new things, you become someone new. Courage isn't loud, it's not always bold or dramatic. Sometimes it's a whisper inside you that says, try again tomorrow. Sometimes it's making a phone call you've been avoiding. Other times it's standing alone in a room full of people who disagree with you. Courage is doing what you know is right, even when your knees are shaking, even when your voice trembles, even when no one claps. People think that courageous people are fearless, but that's not true. Courageous people feel fear, they just don't obey it. They act anyway. They step up when it's inconvenient. They speak out when it's unpopular. They dare when it's dangerous. They know that the life they want lives on the other side of discomfort. Nothing great was ever built from a place of ease. Mountains aren't climbed on smooth ground. Masterpieces aren't created with certainty. And legacies aren't born from hesitation. Everything meaningful in life comes with a cost. Your time, your energy, your pride, your comfort. But courage makes that price worth paying. Something valuable, growth, strength, experience, and the unshakable knowing that you honored your inner truth. Comfort, on the other hand, will rob you quietly. It will steal your time, your potential, your energy, and your opportunity for impact, all while keeping you just safe enough not to notice. There will be moments when you'll want to turn back, when the unfamiliar feels overwhelming, when the pressure seems too high. That's when you must remember who you are and what you're capable of. That's when you lean into your why. Why did you start? Why does it matter? Why not you? Your greatest breakthroughs will never come from what's easy. They will come from the moments you felt afraid but acted anyway. From the times you stood in uncertainty and still moved forward. From the days you chose growth over comfort, purpose over approval, and courage over fear. Every great chapter in your life will begin with a choice to be brave. Every single person walking this earth carries something unique inside them. A vision, a gift, an idea, a calling. Some ignore it, some run from it, and others bury it so deep under doubt and fear that they forget it ever existed. But that dream you have, that quiet fire inside you that refuses to die out no matter how much time passes, that's not an accident. It was planted in you for a reason. It's not random. It's not meaningless. It is part of your design. You didn't choose your dream, it chose you. It arrived in your thoughts, your heart, and your soul for a purpose. Maybe it came to you as a child, wild and full of wonder. Maybe it showed up later in life after you experienced pain or loss or awakening. However it came to you. not to anyone else. And that matters. Too many people look around for validation before they act. They wait for someone else to confirm that their dream is worthy. They ask for permission, approval, a sign that says, yes, you can do this. But no one else needs to understand your dream. No one else needs to see what you see or feel what you feel. The assignment wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And if they could see it clearly, it would be their dream, not yours. Your dream might be misunderstood, criticized, laughed at, or ignored. That's part of the path. If you wait for universal applause before you take the first step, you'll stay stuck. If you expect everyone to rally behind your vision, you'll stay silent. But when you remember that your dream was assigned to you for a reason, you stop asking the world for permission to be who you already are. Your dream is not just for you, it's also for the people waiting to be impacted by it. There's someone out there who needs your story, your song, your invention, your solution, your leadership. Someone needs to hear the message that only you can deliver in the way that only you can say it. And if you let fear win, if you bury that dream to keep yourself comfortable, those people miss out. You don't need to be the most talented, the most educated, or the most experienced to live your dream. You just need to be willing to trust that what's inside you matters, willing to take the next step, even if the path isn't clear, willing to be the beginner, the student, the one who tries again after failing, because what's inside you is powerful, but it only becomes reality when you take responsibility for it. Sometimes the dream feels heavy. It feels like too much. It overwhelms you because it's bigger than anything you've done before. That's okay. You weren't meant to do it all at once. You were meant to grow into the person who can carry it. The dream was designed to stretch you, challenge you, and develop your strength along the way. You might look around and think someone else has already done it. Someone else already wrote the book, started the business, launched the idea, but no one has done it like you. No one else brings your life, your experience, your voice, your soul to the work. Your fingerprint is one of a kind, and so is your impact. The world doesn't need more copies. It needs authenticity. It needs people who are brave enough to answer the call they've been given. Your dream is not a random desire. It's a divine assignment. It's a message written into your being. It's a whisper from something greater saying, this is yours to do. Every day you wake up, you're given a gift. Not money, not status, not things. You're given time. And once it's spent, it's gone. You can't save it. You can't rewind it. You can't earn more of it. Time is the one currency you can never get back. And yet, it's the one most people waste the fastest. They waste it on fear, on distractions, on pleasing people who don't care, on living someone else's life while ignoring their own. Time doesn't pause when you're unsure. It doesn't slow down when you procrastinate. It doesn't wait while you overthink, hesitate, or delay. It moves quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. And every moment you spend chasing the wrong things, things that don't light you up, don't grow you, don't reflect who you are, becomes time lost. Not just hours, but potential, opportunity, life. You don't realize how valuable time is until you've lost it, until you look back and wish you had started sooner, until you realize the things you postponed never came back around, until someone you love runs out of time and suddenly you see how fragile every second is. Most people live as if they have forever, and then they wake up one day wondering where it all went. But purpose doesn't wait. Fulfillment doesn't live in the clock is ticking, whether you act or not. There is no perfect time to begin. There is only now, and now is enough. You have enough information to take the first step. You have enough strength to try again. You have enough time left if you stop wasting it. But to live with purpose, you have to be intentional. You have to stop drifting through the hours and start deciding how you use them. Every minute should either be building your future, deepening your relationships, elevating your mindset, or restoring your spirit. Spending your time with purpose doesn't mean being busy. It means being aligned. You can fill your schedule and still feel empty. You can check every box and still be disconnected from what really matters. Purpose is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. It's about clarity, about living in a way that matches your values, your voice, your vision. Ask yourself, where is my time really going? Who or what is getting the best of me? Are my days aligned with the person I want to become, or am I just reacting to whatever comes? The honest answers to those questions will show you whether you're living on purpose or simply surviving each day. You don't need more hours. You need more direction. You need to say no more often, not because you're selfish, but because you're serious. And if you keep saying yes to things that drain you, distract you, or delay you, you will never become who you were meant to be. People often think purpose has to be grand, dramatic, or world-changing. But purpose lives in the daily, in the choices you make when no one is watching, in how you treat people, in what you focus on, in how you show up. The most meaningful lives are not always the loudest. They are the most intentional. One day, your time will run out, and you won't be able to buy another day. You won't get to negotiate for more hours. All you will have is what you did with the time you were given. So don't live casually. Don't drift. Don't waste your limited days trying to impress people who won't matter in the end. Choose to live on purpose, with focus, with meaning, with urgency.